What's going on, guys? Billy here, and today I want to share with you my favorite pre-flight application that I use before flying my drone called AirMap. Now in this video I'm going to do a quick walkthrough for you guys so you get a quick understanding of how the application works and what it can do, and after that I want to talk about why I like it so much. So this app essentially does what the title says. It features a map that will show you the local classified airspaces. What this app doesn't do is give you a detailed look at the weather forecast, but let's be real, looking out the window usually does the trick, and while this might be a cool feature to add, this app is still packed with features. Alright, so let's just get into things here and do a quick walkthrough of the application. So as soon as you launch the app, it shows you the map around your current location with some different controls around the edges of the screen. Before I go on, I just have to comment on the map, which is crisp, vibrant, easy to read. I mean, this whole app revolves around this map being crisp and easy to use, which thankfully it is. Now, if we click on the circle in the top left corner, it brings us to a menu where we can view our flights, view the aircraft we have added to this app, change the settings, look up frequently asked questions, contact their support, learn more about AirMap, you guys know the usual stuff, and at the bottom we can log out. We'll touch more on flights later, as you can actually use this app to fly your DJI drone. Heading back to the main screen and focusing on the icons in the top right, we can search for an area anywhere on the map. Whether you're on the East Coast and you want to check out the West Coast, you can easily. This comes in handy if you want to, say, plan a flight somewhere else that you are traveling to. Next is the globe icon, which lets you cycle through a couple of different map styles, which again look gorgeous and help you get more information from the map itself. Underneath of that, we can simply snap back to our current location, and finally we have the option to fly a DJI drone from right within the app, which I want to save for the end of this video. Now at the bottom of the screen is where the bread and butter of this application is. You can view some of the information displayed, but to get the full effect we have to swipe up. You get information like your current location, basic weather forecasts, and your latitude and longitudinal points. Under the tab marked rules, we can pick how we are flying, whether it is for hobbyist reasons or business use with the Part 107 certification. Moving down, we have some of the rules that we are to follow during flight, which can be helpful as a refresher, but the main reason I like to use this app is the advisory section, which groups any of the hazards near you by category. You can browse the advisories listed and, if you need to, find the contact information for any of the towers located on the surrounding airports. This makes it super easy to get in touch with them, and AirMap is actually working on a way to submit this information digitally without having to call, but it hasn't yet been rolled out. We'll talk more about this later in the video towards the end. Something else that we can use that I actually forgot to mention is the flight plan feature, which looks like an arrow that is both white and blue. I don't use this all that much as I just look at the advisories manually, but this could be a good way to get things organized before you get going. Going back to the map for a quick second, if you move around, you can actually see little icons that sort of look like a paper airplane in a circle. This is actually where other people have planned flights within AirMap, which is cool. Not only does it give you a warning, but also adds sort of like a social aspect to the app, and it would be cool if they added something like a messaging system to talk to others that are near you. Now, as promised, we are going to briefly go over the feature that allows you to fly your DJI drone right within the AirMap application. Like a lot of these other apps where you can fly your drone from directly within, it really isn't all that good. Upon connecting your drone and tapping on the small plug-looking icon in the top right, it will bring us to a map where we can plan our flight by radius. It looks somewhat like the DJI Go app, like you've got your camera settings, but other than that, you can't change anything else. No max altitude limit, no flight modes, no settings. I mean, this is as bare bones as you can get. Even if you tap on the status indicator in the top right, it gets cut off on the iPhone's head, which drives me insane. I know that this is still a fairly new feature within AirMap, but this really needs to get better before I can use it or even recommend it to anyone else. Stick to the DJI Go app for now. So the number one reason why I like this application so much is its design. From the app logo on the home screen to the UI throughout the application, I mean, as I said, the map looks beautiful. Next to functionality, this is definitely one of the most important things to me when it comes to applications. If we compare it to something like the Before You Fly app from the FAA, it's like night and day. The logo of the Before You Fly app is so busy, like it's an eyesore on my home screen. Even the app itself is just jumbled and not even optimized for the newer devices. It really sucks because the FAA is always enforcing safe flight, but they can't even provide us with a solid platform to check airspaces. I'm not really one to use an application to check my weather forecast before I fly. I mean, I've got the weather app on my iPhone, that's basically good enough. Sometimes I check wind speed on something like dark sky, but this is an application that I actually use as, again, I like to familiarize myself with the surrounding airspaces where I'm flying. Another reason I like this application is just because of how easy AirMap makes it to actually contact the towers. All you have to do is click on the airport, and from there it gives you no other information other than the phone number, which is just perfect. It allows you to call right from the app. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, AirMap is actually working on a way for you to submit this information digitally to the towers when you want to fly, rather than having to call them up, which in my opinion is a total lifesaver, a total time saver. Sometimes when you're trying to call a tower and let them know you're flying, you have to jump around until you find the right person to talk to, and then once you find that person, they ask you all of this information. Overall, I think that this is a great idea. I think that the FAA would be able to easier execute this through their application. And while I love AirMap, it is like the best app that I've used before flying a drone, like ever. It's the best pre-flight app. I really do think that the Before You Fly app has the potential to be the best app to use if they just put some more work into it. I mean, right now, it is a total mess. But guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you're interested in checking out this application, all you need to do is go to the Google Play Store or the App Store on your iOS device and search up AirMap. It should be the first one to come up. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll talk to you later. Peace.